Have you ever wondered why we struggle so much with something as natural as change? It's curious when you think about it, because from the moment we're born, we are in constant transformation. Every cell in our body changes, our ideas evolve, and our feelings shift over time. And yet, we cling to what we know as if the present could last forever. What's even more intriguing is that, even knowing life is made of cycles and transitions, we continue to create an illusion of control. We want to hold on to what we love, freeze happy moments, and avoid pain at all costs. But inevitably, life insists on showing us that everything is in motion. The good times pass, but fortunately, so do the difficulties. Nothing stays the same. It's like a river whose waters are never the same. It continues to flow, adapting to the terrain, following its natural course. So are we, a constant flow, even when we resist the current. Nature, in its wise simplicity, gives us clear examples of this all the time. Look at a tree. In autumn, its leaves fall to the ground in a silent, beautiful farewell. In winter, the same tree seems to sleep, stripped of everything it once carried. And then, when spring arrives, it blooms again, renewed, full of life. The tree does not resist these changes. It does not try to hold onto its leaves or avoid winter. It simply accepts and follows the flow of life. But we humans are different. Often we see change as a threat, something that comes to take us out of a place that feels safe and comfortable. We fight, we resist, and in this effort to avoid the inevitable, we end up holding on to pain and anguish that could be softened if only we learned to let go. Many years ago, in a remote monastery atop a mountain, there lived a young monk named Kaito. He was known for his relentless dedication to spiritual practice, but deep down, he carried a fear he could never face, the fear of losing the master he so admired. Master Haru was a man of profound wisdom whose simple words could transform even the most restless hearts. To Kaito, Haru was more than a spiritual guide. He was a solid foundation amid life's uncertainties. One day, while tending the monastery's garden, Kaito heard a faint sound coming from the master's room. He rushed there and found Haru lying down, pale, breathing with difficulty. "Winter comes for all of us, Kaito," said the master with a serene smile. Though these words were spoken with tranquility, to Kaito, they sounded like thunder. He couldn't bear the thought that his master was leaving. Kaito spent days at Haru's side, refusing to leave him alone. He took care of the master with great zeal, but at the same time, his mind was filled with questions and anguish. Why is this happening now? Why must something so precious come to an end? He wondered repeatedly. One night, as he gazed at the starry sky from the window of Haru's room, he could no longer contain his unrest and asked, "How can I accept losing you, someone who is so important to me?" Haru, even weakened, responded with a softness that deeply touched the young monk's heart. "Kaito, look at the sky, see the moon. It is always changing, from full to waning, from new to waxing. But you do not mourn its transformation, do you? Because that is its nature. My presence here is like the full moon, beautiful yet fleeting. When it disappears, I will still be with you, like the glow that lingers in the sky." Those words resonated deeply with Kaito. He could not fully understand them at the time, but he felt a sense of lightness in his heart. A few days later, Haru passed away, and Kaito was overwhelmed by immense sadness. However, he remembered what the master had taught him and gradually began to accept that, just as the seasons change, life also follows its course. Over time, Kaito found the strength to leave the monastery and share Haru's teachings with others. During his travels, he met a young woman named May, who was sitting on a park bench clutching a crumpled letter, silently crying. Kaito, sensing her pain, sat beside her without saying a word. After a few minutes, May began to open up. "He left. We spent so many years together, and now it's over. I don't know how to go on. It feels like I've lost a part of myself," she said. her voice trembling. Kaito listened attentively and after a long pause, shared his master's story. He said, "The pain you feel right now is real and should not be denied, but it is also part of life's flow. What you shared with this person was like the glow of a full moon, a unique and beautiful moment, but the moon never truly disappears, it merely changes shape." May, wiping her tears, replied, "But what if I don't want it to change? What if I want everything to go back to the way it was?" Kaito looked at her with a gentle smile and said, "The more we try to hold on to what must move on, the more we suffer. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means making space for what was lived to bloom in other ways." These words deeply touched May, who began reflecting on her resistance. In the days that followed, she decided to transform her pain into strength, writing about her experience and sharing her lessons with others. These stories show us that impermanence, though challenging, is also an opportunity for transformation. Just as Kaito had to accept the loss of his master to become a guide himself, and May had to let go of a relationship to find her inner strength, we are all called, at some point, to face change. How we respond to it defines what we learn and how we grow. Everything that lives changes. Everything that exists will one day cease to exist as we know it. This is the essence of impermanence, one of the deepest pillars of life and of Zen and Buddhist teachings. But accepting this truth is not just a matter of intellectual understanding. It is a path of transformation, a daily practice of letting go, embracing, and above all, fully living. So I invite you to reflect. What change are you facing right now? It could be something small, like a new habit you want to create, or something big, like a career transition, the end of a chapter, or the loss of someone dear. Whatever it is, remember that resistance only adds to the burden. But when you accept it, something magical happens. What once seemed like a weight becomes a lesson. What seemed like an end becomes the beginning of something new. If this content resonated with you, share in the comments what you are facing and how you plan to embrace the changes in your life. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving teachings that nourish your mind and soul. Until next time.